All right, welcome, kings and queens. Today we're back, y'all. We're talking Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 6. I'm a day late and $1 short, but I am here. I am here. I am here. A huge portion of this commentary is going to be centered around Kent and Trish. Listen, Kent and Trish. Let me start off by saying, are you listening? Dear Mr. Kent, run, run, run. Trisha low-key subconsciously does not want to marry you. Let me say it again. Trisha low-key, deep in her, I'm talking about her subconscious, she does not want to marry you. And I don't think it's because you're not a great guy. I think Trisha enjoys the chase, and so do you. This is already a horrible start, y'all. This is off to a horrible start, okay? If they get married, this is off to a really bad start, and I'm gonna tell you why. The lady has no excitement in her voice. She has no excitement in her eyes when she talks about the topic of marriage. No chipperness, no joy, no glow when it comes to potentially marrying Kent. So, Kent, I don't know about you, but don't nobody want no damn marriage that's like that, that's already starting off with the sad, sad, pitiful soul. Mm-mm. And when he sat there, and let me remind you, Kent, when you sat there at that dinner table and you ask her, so do you want to marry me? And she's like, I could see myself. Think about that 10 years from now. She didn't give you a strong yes. She told you the reasons why she's hesitant. I'm sorry, sir. You are cheating yourself. You are cheating yourself out of what marriage should be. But I think it's because you got tricked out of your spot. And Trish is giving you what I call the Cleopatra syndrome. What is Cleopatra syndrome? Y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
When Kent asked Trish about marrying him, the camera pans into her confessional. And in her confessional, Trish begins to talk about how her ex did what he did to her, blah, 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 right? Listen, if Kent is that great of a guy as she says that he is, and I'm not saying that he isn't, but the way she's saying he's this, he's that, then his presence in her life should have nothing to do with her story about her ex, unless she's still in love and she's still connected and attached to her ex emotionally. And that's how I know, y'all. That's how I know that she's not keeping it real, because if Kent is moving her spiritually, mentally and emotionally in a way that her ex never did, it would be a no-brainer. This lady would be running to sign those papers. Are you following me? She would have signed those papers a long time ago. Trish, y'all, Trish is a player from the Himalaya. Sit back and watch. Sit back and take notes. Trish is a player from the Himalayas. And I ain't mad at her. I am not mad at her. Trish is juggling multiple men, in my opinion. Okay? Trish is playing games. Trish is playing games with her ex-husband. Trish is playing games with her current boyfriend. Okay? And Trish is playing games with Martell. Yes, I am here for it. I am here for it. Trish, 3. The boys, 0. Trish is a city girl and she is outside this summer. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get into this Cleopatra syndrome. Let's talk about it. Boom, the art of seduction, the Cleopatra syndrome, y'all. Research it for yourself. I'll give you a little bit. It's a dilemma of love and pride, which I feel like Trish strongly gives off. It's a set of behaviors that are often characterized by unsated lust for confirmation of her great importance for her lover and avoidance of relationships with a man that could entail dependence on him or any possibility. Pause. Number two, I believe, is where Kent is getting caught up. Trish is subconsciously avoiding a relationship with him to ensure she keeps her independence that she's established while her husband is in prison. And when I'm saying her independence, y'all, I'm referring to her sexual liberation. I'm referring to her sexual seduction and her sexual independence. Oh my gosh. Follow me closely. Also, with Cleopatra syndrome. Now let's go back. Now we know Trish has Kent. We know Trish has her husband. And we also know that Trish has a very, very colorful, very colorful relationship with Martell. I call this on episode 2. I said, I'm receiving, like, she a grown woman. She can do what she want to do. Like she told Stormy, I think Trish is very sexually liberated. That's what I'm picking up. Now, listen, I ain't mad at her. Trish is the kind of girl where you would underestimate her and you would fuck around and find out. Trish is the kind of girl that you do not leave in the room with your man. That quiet one that you feel poses no threat. And then you F around and you find out many months or many years later, honey, that your husband was your boyfriend, your cousin, your nephew was head over heels with this Cleopatra. Okay. Oftentimes, Cleopatra's syndromes, they are quite impulsive, which I feel like her encounters with Martell were impulsive, if y'all know what I mean. They often indulge in self-damaging behaviors. 3 men, y'all. She's married, she got a boyfriend, and she's frolicking, allegedly, with Martell. That is a self-damaging behavior. And also, let's go back. You remember she said, when I'm pushed and when I get mad, I black out and I don't remember sometimes. She said, I black out. Go back. I think it's episode 2. Also with Cleopatra syndrome, which is sometimes they have an inability to control their anger, which is why she goes to great lengths to not get angry because she, quote unquote, blacks out. Now, what I'm saying, that don't mean I'm right, but a lot of characteristics that she's given off, some of them, with these men is giving Cleopatra syndrome. Like I said, do the research yourself. Do the research yourself and just think about the history of it, okay? And just the art of seduction that comes with it. Like I said, that's what I'm picking up. And then it reminded me of one of the personalities in the art of seduction, which was labeled as a siren. Siren. Listen, I don't want to go too deep, but I'm just telling y'all what I'm picking up. Another thing that I'm picking up, Trish is not shy at all. Trish is not shy. I think she's actually very crafty when it comes to men. Okay, don't hate the player, baby. Hate the game. It's a seductive strategy that I think Trish is playing, and she's playing very well. She's actually pretty good at it, and you can't be mad at her. This lady has 3 men eating out the palm of her hand. In my opinion, the only one that she really has a definitive interest in, believe it or not, is Martell. Martell does something to this woman. You saw her light up on that episode. Now, Trish seems to have lockjaw when she's being filmed with everybody else, with the exception of Martell. In my opinion, I think, okay, let me move on. Let me move on. I already said it, okay? Now, Kent, she may not be sure if she wants to marry you, but I bet if Martell asked her to marry him, she wouldn't have no excuse about her ex. Those papers would have been signed, like Usher says, sign them papers. Listen, baby, don't y'all sleep on Trish. Don't sleep on Trish, because Trish, like I said earlier, is one of them girls that'll hurt your feelings. Trish is one of them girls that you'll get your feelings hurt by underestimating her. She's one of them girls that just because you thought she wasn't attractive, that doesn't mean your man don't think that she's not attractive. You get what I'm saying? She's one of those girls that understands the game when it comes to men. She's not as docile and quiet and reserved as you or as she puts off to be, in my opinion. That's not a bad thing. I'm just telling y'all what I'm picking up, okay? She's one of those girls that you may not want, like I said before, to have around your pimping ain't easy, baby. I'm just saying, I don't think you want to bring her around, okay? She understands how the game is played, and she has no problem playing the game. And should you decide to get froggy and jump, like she said, she will black out on your ass, period, point blank. Anywho, now here's the crazy thing. Trish is good, y'all. I'm sitting here smiling because they all know better as grown-ups. So if she finessed the hell out of you, Kent, Mr. Kent, that is on you, sir. Because here's the crazy thing, yet interesting part about it. Here's the crazy yet interesting part about it. In the scene at dinner, Kent looks at her and said to her with his own mouth and says, you know, in the back of my head, I keep thinking, my inner spirit, my voice, this little voice keeps telling me that you don't really want to get a divorce, sir. It's called your intuition. It's called your inner self, your strong self, and yet you are choosing to ignore the signs. Okay. Now, here's another part. He says that you don't really want to leave your husband for me, that you really don't want to move forward with me. He didn't say all that, but I'm saying it, okay? Because that's what he's saying. And she said, no, 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 that's not it. Y'all, why do we forego our intuitive sense? People will lie to you, but you won't lie to you. You'll never lie to yourself. And that's where he went wrong. And that's what, sir, anything that comes after this, you opened up the door and you welcomed it in. I've said it before. A lot of times our problems, y'all, a lot of your damn problems come from other people, but you felt them coming a mile away by way of your intuitive instinct. Okay. You felt the shade. You felt the look. You felt it, but you proceeded anyway to try to be friends, try to be cordial, to try to date, whatever it is. Okay. So, sir, come what may, because you are choosing to forego your safety meter because you lusting after another man's woman. Let's talk about it. You are lusting, King Solomon, after another man's woman. She belongs to another man. I told y'all men like to chase, even if it's to their own detriment. Quit playing with me. Listen, men love to chase, even to their own detriment. It ain't got to make sense. Quit saying they don't like hoes. Yes, they do. A lot of them do, if they can tame her. And she's figured out the art of seduction. Okay? And that's what's happening. And this man is choosing to not rely on his spidey sense when it comes to what his inner self is trying to tell him. Okay? I think they probably will get married. I do. However, if he chooses to move forward with marrying Trish, he's going to regret it. He's going to regret it. Because it started wrong, y'all. This is a married woman that he's dating openly on national television. I don't think Kent is going to get, or the marriage is going to be what he needs it to be after the chase stops. Once she gets the ring, once they say I do, I think she's going to tap out emotionally. I think she's going to get bored, and I think she's going to look for her another side nigga. If not one, maybe two. Kent, you are setting yourself up for failure in this game, this brutal game of love and war, child. This brutal game of love and war. Trish is a star athlete, and you are heavily underestimating her and the damage that she can do to you. You are out of your league, Ken. Now, to the friends and family and people that says, to your friends and family that try to tell you, don't bring this married woman around. And I thought she was married. Sir, now your instinct has already told you that something. I don't think she really want to marry me or get a divorce. She don't. Listen, this woman is stringing him along, but at the same time, he's a grown man, a big, strong grown man, and he's allowed himself to be strung along. So the lady is saying nothing positive about marriage. She's saying everything but positivity about marriage. She's saying that it's scary, it's frustrating. Kent, she's going to carry that same attitude into your marriage. Trish has not healed. She has not changed her thoughts about marriage. And the conversation should have been different if she's really excited about living and spending the rest of her life with you. I'm just saying, because at the end of the dinner conversation, Kent gave her a call to action. He said, can you go ahead and initiate the separation conversation with your husband? Not your ex-husband, but with your husband. And she said, now you asking a lot. Child, please. When it comes to men, I think Trish may not have strong boundaries. Okay. Trish, in my opinion, is one of those girls that you will bring in your house, bring it to the family barbecue, and Trish would look at your guy and it's on and popping after one look. Or your guy will look at Trish. So we ain't gonna just put it all on Trish, but I'm gonna just say Trish is, listen, don't underestimate Trish, period, point blank, and you would never know. You would never see it coming your way. Because, honey, the whole time they've been cheating in the next room, making plans, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. I don't even think Stormy knew that she had a sexual relationship with Martell. That's how good at the game Trish is. Trish has figured men out. Trish knows what they want, and Trish knows what to give them. Body, yada, 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 yada. Trish has them eating out the palm of her hands. She understands that men like to pursue. She understands that men like to hunt. She understands that men are visual creatures and that men, no matter who she is, enjoys a woman with a really nice body. Trish is way ahead of the game than most women. The only thing is, I believe Trish is the hunter. I think Trish also has figured out, in addition to all of those things that I've named about what men like, she also knows to serve up a little bit of femininity in there and play the quiet game, the submissive game. I'm not going to talk and say too much game. Okay? That's what she's serving, honey. Listen, y'all better watch. She's also figured out the visual game. And let's be honest, y'all, can't nobody touch her on that show physically, with the exception of Melody, Cherie. Trish came in the gates right. That's all you got to do as a woman. You know what? I told somebody before, I was talking to a friend. I said, don't ever let your body go, because that's your leverage as a woman. Ladies, it ain't fair, but it's real. Don't let your body go, because that's your leverage in that relationship. And yes, you got men that'll cheat no matter what. And if you fine as hell, but it keeps you in the game. It keeps you in the game. Okay. It keeps your scorecard up. And Trish has figured that out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. She also knows and has mastered the game and how to play the role of being a damsel in distress who needs to be saved. Izza, should I save her? Hey, I want to be saved. Niggas love being Captain Save a Hoe. Okay? She can get a nigga to pull out his cape and save her. You see what she did with Kent. Kent wants to rescue her and save her from that horrible marriage. And then she did the same thing to Martell about how Melody drilled her. And Martell wanted to save her, so much so that he told her, the next time you're in that situation, say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, M, L, M, L. Well, shoot, y'all get what I'm saying. She has mastered the art of seduction. And I am here for it. I love it because she's serving up everything that most men say they want. And it's working, y'all. It's working right before our eyes. She got a nigga in jail. She got a nigga that drive trucks, and she got a nigga that's already on a reality television show, and she's managed to finesse her way right on the screen and pull off a Houdini act, baby. Something that Ariane Curry could not manage to do. If y'all don't stand up and give this woman a round of applause, listen, then I'll do it myself. Trish, girl, I got my eye on you because you, my friend, has finessed all three of these mofos.